Every weekend, I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other. It's part of who I am. If you ride, you know what I mean. That's why I insure with Shannons. They get it. They share our passion and give us the features riders want, like limited use cover and multi-vehicle discounts. Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. Whatever you ride, ride with Shannons.
Call 13 46 46 for a quote.
Rare Spares has over 50,000 product lines and releases over 500 new products every year. Your local Rare Spares distributor has what you need when you need it. And as the only restoration company officially backed by Holden and Ford, we take our part in your project very seriously. Rare Spares, more than just a part in your project.
These competitors here, really nice move. Blake Delaney has to move out of the way.
Good evening, sim racing fans, and welcome to your Thursday night broadcast here on SRW TV. Tonight we bring to you Shannons Toyota GR86 Nationals, and thanks to Warren and Brown Tools, this is round 7 of Season 3, 2023. I'm Nathan, can't get his words out, ShiBBy Howard, and in the box next to me is a special guest tonight, Thomas Preacher Riley. Hey, mate.
Good to be back in the comms box, joining you tonight for the GR86 Nationals. First time commentating on these fellas. I'm very excited to see what these bouncy little Toyotas can give us up tonight. I've watched a couple of races already this season and they've been absolutely insane. Taking on Monza tonight, 5.7 kilometres long, and very famous. Double chicanes, the two Lesmos, and then, of course, Ascari and Parabolica will throw up some craziness, especially with the draft effect for these cars.
Yeah, the draft effect has played a massive input across this series right up until now. We've seen some phenomenally close racing across the whole field. And then when you throw in that it's a super sprint series with a second heat reverse top 10, the racing just gets closer. A lot of chaos can also come out of it, but in most cases, it's just absolute phenomenal racing.
Yeah, definitely. I've done a fair few races in these cars, and they're a lot of fun. Just stay away from the curbs, and you'll be doing just fine.
Yeah, the curbs and the 86s. We've seen it this season, last season. Any sort of little bit of lift on either left or right hand side. We have seen a few cars end up on their roof, very stiff, short little cars, so they definitely don't take to those curbs very well at all. Let's have a quick look at the standings as of last week. So round 6, John McHenry for Locked On Lads is still leading the charge on 1,064 points. Callan Hodgkinson down in P2 on 849 points. Dan Batouche for ETS Motorsports, 755 points. Bruce White for LMR Esports, 729. Greg Johnson for Team Greg Racing. What a sneaky man. Snuck himself up into 5th with some great podium finishes last week on 673 points. Wayne Edwards, Web Sim Racing, 613. Jordan McDonnell for Maverick Sim Sports, the man that just appeared out of nowhere, missed the first 2 rounds and's already got himself up into P7 on 600 points. Kevin Wakefield for Kevstar Racing, 572 points. Jace Douglas for LMR Esports, 566. And Ryan Price in the Bluey Mobile will round out your top 10. But there still is this round plus 2 more before this season is over. So plenty of points still on the line for all our drivers out here in the GR86 Nationals, thanks to Shannons Insurance.
Yeah, definitely. Those last 2 rounds at Alton Park and Phillip Island will be very, very exciting indeed. Alton Park, nice little narrow circuit. Perfect for these cars, and then Phillip Island where it'll just be another one of those draft fests, flat out, all the way around. Need to manage the rear tyres around there for or the rear slip that you'll get, bit of oversteer going on. But Monza tonight, yeah, as I said, the curbs will be interesting through the chicane. Especially on lap 1. Hopefully the drivers don't lose themselves. We'll see how high the cars can get in the change of direction through the second chicane. It'll be a bit interesting tonight, I'm sure.
Definitely, mate. I definitely look forwards to it. We are just about to head into our racecraft qualifying session, and I totally forgot Tim Cornt joined the league as well to give Mr. John McHenry a bit of a hand. I'm wondering, just looking at the practice times now, because Mr. Jordan McDonnell for Maverick Sim Sports is he is a second faster than John McHenry right now, which is huge.
A big gain. Drivers need to be careful tonight. Race control are going to be looking very hard on down the main straight. You've got to keep 2 wheels inside the white lines So none of this cutting across the inside to get a shorter run. I believe, I'm not sure how they'll police it during qualifying, but definitely during the race, that will be deemed outside of track limits. Saw that in the Discord during the week.
That's correct. Yep. I was going to say racecraft. Our race stewards will definitely be keeping a heavy eye on that. Our race steward tonight is Daniel Fritz. So huge shout out to Fritzy for coming on and doing that for us as well. As everybody starts flying out of the pit lane right now. All our Toyota GR86s are heading out. You can see Jordan got a quick burst out and then a big line up behind him. He probably wants to get a move on. We're having a bit of shenanigans here out on the qualifying session. The boys are out here to have a lot of fun as well as they are to race hard. We do know from just talking to them after in the podium interviews how much these drivers have been enjoying it, as well as the chatter that gets up in the Discord every day. I wonder if Jordan...
Locked on, lad.
Yeah.
This is where your teammates will come in handy. The two locked on lads at the front have decided to step away and go together. And then the two Maverick Sim Sports cars as well. There is a third in behind as well. They'll all be looking to get a little bit of draft assistance off their teammates, try and benefit. So if I were you, locked on lads, I'll be putting John McHenry back there in second, or at least doing a run with him behind. He's one of the faster drivers for their team and leading the championship at the moment.
Yeah, with consistency. And I was having a chat to John J-Mac last week, and even if Jordan was to win every race from now on, he still couldn't outdo John McHenry's points. So Jordan is in a running for a podium finish, but wouldn't be able to take P1. So coming in late has sort of hindered him to take the championship, but I tell you what, it hasn't stopped him from putting on an absolute show. And we've already got some registrations for Season 4 happening in the Discord for the Toyota 86s, and there is a flood of Maverick Sim Sport cars. I think there's 4 or 5 of them coming on over into the 86 series next season. So looking again for a really good field.
Yeah, definitely. Might be easier if they when they do their liveries next. They have a bit of alternating on their liveries, so that we can actually tell them apart. Because I can't quite tell them apart right now.
Well, it's the same as the locked on lads either. The only way to really
exactly.
tell,
Exactly. Even if it was, a different color like banner, like you could have a black and a white one base, then that would be that'd be a good starting point. But I'm just nitpicking now.
Just nitpicking now. We'll jump on board with a quick Warren Brown Tools cockpit cam as John McHenry has just left the second corner. Get a bit of an idea of what these drivers are dealing with this evening.
Down to the Delarod GR chicane. Once you use all the curb on the left and the right, use it to rotate the car. Don't get an off track on the exit. Make sure you hit your shifts now down into Lesmo 1. Late on the brakes. Get it tucked in. Again, careful on the exit. Had a fair bit of space to use, but just wanted to make sure he had the moving speed through the corner, not overstress the tyres. Now the run down this long straight out of the Lesmo into the Ascari chicane. They come down under the hill here, under the old banking. And pop back up late on the brakes, if they can. About 80 metres or so on the brakes. Hammer it over the curb. Careful on this one. Yeah, car looks very good under with its ride control there. One of the Sim Blacks cars coming late out of the pit, so might tuck in behind the rest of them. Jordan McDonald's got 3 purple sectors now.
He's just sitting in behind McHenry as well.
McHenry sets a 13.5, and Jordan McDonald bangs in a 12.7.
Yeah, he was right behind him, drafting him that whole time. So Jordan tucked right in behind John there to really make use of that draft. They don't look like very long.
That's
Comes
tactical
around.
from John. Don't want to be giving a toe to your competitor.
Yeah, pulled out of that really quick. Head back to the
facing the wrong way.
pits. Yeah, so these straights don't look that long. In most other cars, they're not that long. In these 86s, though, they will get to top gear and be ringing their little 4-cylinder necks. It's Callan. Oh, Callan was on a really good lap then. 3 personal best sectors.
Don't draw me, ShiBBy. Not yet.
Oh, I'm still shaking off this flu. Nearly coughed all up in all your ears. Fritzy's just chimed in. Thanks for chiming in, Fritzy. Thanks for also being our race steward tonight, mate, and also our series admin for the Toyota GR86, doing an absolute phenomenal job. He said there's 15 cars already registered for the 86, and we haven't even released any information. So these guys are keen to get back out here for the Super Sprint Series. They're absolutely loving it. Greggy Johnson sitting in. Oh, Mr. Leak's out there as well. Good to see Greggy Leak out there. The other member of Team Greg has been struggling with health issues for quite a while now, so it's great to see him getting back in his rig and out there having a race in that Red Energy Team Greg racing car. Absolute laugh. Cody Metcalf on a couple of good sectors here. Coming through final corners. Can he improve on his 2:17.243 and move himself up that?
Again, up into 4th.
Oh, nice
So,
lap.
even without the draft assistance, we're able to find some speed. He's just a little bit too far off the back of the guys in front to really get that assistance.
McIntyre, Peter Gretton absolutely fired it up into provisional P4. A lot of movement in that table right now. Only halfway through this qualifying session and the times are still rolling in. A lot of people still on personal bests. Saw Pete have a bit of an incident during Heat 2 rounds ago, where we think he tried to answer his phone during the start and managed to pin himself into the wall. So good to see him up there in P4.
Definitely not a recommended strategy.
No, I don't know if that's what he did, but it looked like it. I think he had equipment malfunction, but he just, off the start, just threw the car straight into the wall. Whoa, well done to hold on to that. You can see just there how high these cars do get up on 2 wheels when you take those curbs extremely aggressively. Jaden.
We got an onboard of his helmet at some stage.
Of Gretton's.
Yes.
It's Mario.
It's me, Mario, yahoo!
He's got the full Mario suit. All right, so Jaden Busselage, I think I'm saying that right, has just moved up into P4, knocked Pete Gretton down. Tim Cornt now up into P3. So good to see the other locked-on lads driver getting up there with his teammate. That's going to be a huge help off the start for Heat 1. What else we got? We've still got a few drivers that haven't set any times yet. Dan Batouche, Nathan Kane, Shane Newens and Greg Leak still yet to set a time. Jake Edwards joined the server for Crisscross Racing, but haven't seen him take to the track yet. Kevin Wakefield, one of the new drivers to the league, really starting to move in his skill level in leaps and bounds, and we see that a lot from the guys that sort of race around the back. Once their confidence gets up in these cars, they start moving up into those mid-pack battles. Still a lot of greens happening out there. Kevin will come over the line. Is he going to improve on his own time? He won't.
Greg's on a good time. Greg Johnston. 4 greens. So this should be an improvement for him. To 18.8. So
Nice,
it doesn't
2
improve his
seconds.
position, but definitely does find himself 2 seconds.
Yeah. Jordan McDonnell now for Maverick Sim Sports. We already know he's quick. I don't know if he really needs to prove if he's any quicker. I feel like this has to be one of his favourite tracks because I don't think he's gapped the whole field, not even John McHenry, by a second during qualifying this season.
At the moment, though, it looks like he's sort of just punching a hole in the air. So I'm curious to see how that, what the strategy is there. But he's just sort of running at the front at the moment, maybe helping out his teammates to get them some lap time.
He does have both of them behind him. Of course, you want to try and get your teammates up and around you. Although we also saw the Maverick Sim Sports team take each other out a couple of weeks ago. I think it might have been 2 weeks ago, 2 rounds ago. Bit of a miscommunication between the teammates and they both end up running each other off the track. That was the wrong button. 205 kilometres an hour. Fastest time set so far for Callan Hodgkinson. Taking this track very aggressive over that curve. Really trying to use all the track he can get. It's definitely showing in his times. Dan Bartouche on some greens. Greggy Johnson on greens. Wayne Edwards did improve. No, he didn't.
No, he just had his best final sector. Then Bartouche does improve, gets himself up into 5th. Again, another good lap time given there's no draft help. Needs to find 6 and a bit tenths though to get himself up into 4th.
Less than 3 minutes to go as well. Greg Johnston goes better again. Does improve on his own time.
Jordan McDonnell has got a purple second sector.
Dragging his teammates around here. Jaden is sitting on the back of Jordan.
Jaden goes faster. He's only 200ths away. Oh, Tim Cornt goes faster again. I was just about to say that Jaden was only 200ths slower than Tim, but that was... I almost spoke too soon.
It's the commentator's curse, isn't it?
It is. It is. Now, with less than 2 minutes to go, you have to be on your lap now. Otherwise, you won't finish it. So, who have we got on laps?
Wayne Edwards and Brendan Soper at the moment.
Dan Bartouche is also on a lap. So, Shane Newens trying to get himself his a lap time recorded.
Soper will be the first to come across the line for these last laps. Followed by Edwards and then Newens. Soper's got 2 greens. Is it going to be enough to move him up that
It
table?
is one spot.
It was one spot. We'll take
Into
that.
12th.
Wayne Edwards now coming down the straight, come over the start-finish line. 2:16.012 was the time he had to beat.
Looks like it was invalid. Lap time didn't register there.
It's unfortunate because it was looking like a good lap and he's not going to have enough time to get another one in as he goes for a drift session. Greg Johnston on personal best sectors as well for 3, 4 and 5. No, 2, 3 and 4. Does he improve on his own time again?
Another invalid time.
I wonder if it's those
Now, Jordan
chicanes.
McDonnell is coming through the last corner. Don't think he's going to get to the line before... Oh, he might have timed this almost bang on.
Oh, he
didn't
timed
quite
it
get there.
perfectly.
So almost... It didn't look like Jaden was improving, so... probably doesn't really matter that the session went checkered. But Jordan McDonald does finish on pole 8/10 faster than John McHenry, his championship rival. John, the championship leader, they'll line up off of row 1. Tim Corn and Jaden Bessalage off of 2. Dan Bartouche and Peter Gretton off 3. Callan Hodgkinson and Cody Metcalf off 4. Mitch McIntyre and Ryan Price 9 and 10. Wayne Edwards and Brendan Soper 11 and 12. Kevin Wakefield and Greggy Johnston off of row 7. Jake Edwards and Nathan Kane off of 8. And it'll be Greg Leake and Shane Newens off of row 9. 18 drivers taking the field tonight. And it will be a standing start here. So watch for the battle between the Maverick Sim Sports cars and the Locked On lads off the first 2 rows. The other Locked On, or the other Maverick Sim Sports driver further back in the field than where he'd like to be. See him at the top of screen.
Does it say the race has started for you already? Or is my overlay just playing tricks?
No, it doesn't say the race has started for me. Still says gridding for me.
Okay, that's good.
The timer will just be counting down for the grid.
No, she's counting up. She's saying heat 1, lap 1 and counting up.
Yeah, no, that'll count up to 2 minutes and then it'll restart.
Okay. It's not usually how that looks, which is odd, but anyway.
Peter Gretton and Greg Johnston not on the grid. Revs rise in these boxer engines. It's a good start from the front 4. A great start there from, was that Jaden? He's jumped up into 3rd. The 2 teammates have all gone either side of the track. Down in the red Affilio chicane for the first time. It's like Callan has actually got a great start up into 4th already.
John's going to have to stay as close to the back of Jordan as possible. Does not want Jordan trying to gap out and get away too much. You can see this being an absolute massive line of cars through this first lap. Callan has got a great start. Crisscross Racing driver now up 3 positions. Tim Corn for Locked On Lads has lost 2, so he's dropped off the back of his teammate. Mitch McIntyre and Jake Edwards side by side. Oh, very heavy on the brakes. They did extremely well to both get through there. The Bluey Mobile is starting to make moves as well. Managed to get past Dan Batouche. Cody Metcalf is going as well.
Bit of contact in a straight line there. Jaden just having to defend.
Oh, there is a car. That's Kevin Wakefield is around
That's
and
2
into
around
the
as
wall.
well. It's another one around as well. I just saw.
Yep, there sure is. The Great Northern 77. So that will be Mitch McIntyre. Brendan Soper now looking to get a move done on Leakey. Side by side here down these straights. Leakey getting that tucked in really nicely there. We'll follow it through and get that move done. Touche has managed to jump Hodgkinson now, but Hodgkinson and Jake Edwards, the teammates, are back together. Look at the drafting happening. There was nearly a four-way draft there. The crisscross team swap and jump behind both Batouche and Price. Both looking at different lines here. Batouche and Price are going to stay side by side through here.
Good side-by-side racing. Batouche comes out on top at the moment. Price needs to tuck back in behind. See if he can't get the draft, you try and get back up the inside.
You're watching for Hodgkinson and Edwards and Tim Corn. They are not far off the back.
The front three, or front two have gapped
Oh yeah, they're off and gone.
by a fair margin.
Vassalage has
That'll
just
do
had
for
an
9th,
off track.
10th and 11th. 8th, 9th and 10th. Here.
Tim's now down into down 6 spots into P9. Oh, he's had an off track when Wakefield went off. So the Locked On Lads teammate has dropped even further down the field. The Bluey Mobile going at it again with Hodgkinson. Ryan Price has, I've got to say, if anybody was getting the most improved this season, I would be putting my money on Ryan. He has gone from the start of the season, back of the pack, sort of racing a couple of stragglers, now to every single race, right up there for that battle for the top 5. And really
Looks like
showing
Callan
his
there.
skills.
Yeah, Callan looked like he had a bit of a... It was sort of second guessing whether or not he goes up the inside. Showed the nose, released the brake to try and put his nose up there. Oh, the crisscross guys are bug drafting.
Yeah, they did this last lap, and then they actually ended up jumping behind Ryan Price. Look at these guys go, absolutely pushing each other. That got Hodgkinson a huge boost down there. Now side by side with Tim. Good run out of there. Can Jake just stay in that slipstream to stay with his teammate?
So they got more assistance than what Tim Corn has on the outside. Stab with the brake to stay in there. It's going to open him up to Ryan Price behind. Ryan decides to sit back. So Tim does get the move done on Callan in the end. So Tim makes that 3 moves since Parabolica.
And that gets him back up into P6, only down 3 spots from where he started. Still got a big gap away from his teammate, though. Definitely going to be a hard one to try and catch up with the 2 crisscross drivers really starting to race hard and also use their... what's the word for it? Gosh, I had a mind blank then.
Brains, slipstream.
Yeah, brains, yeah, their presence as a team on the track.
But Callan's just released Jake there. It looked like Callan got a fairly poor exit out of least mode 2 and just has let Jake go. Jake can't get too far away from him though because Ryan Price is counting the back of Callan Hodgkinson. Price just pulls out, loses the slipstream.
Looks like Cody Metcalf is starting to close in on the back of Jaden Busselage, and he is. Metcalf only joined the series 2 rounds ago. Managed to get in as one as the last registered drivers for this season. Got a great run out of that corner and down the straight. Look at this, Dan Batouche trying to get in on this slipstream as well.
I'm Dan, I go the inside.
Dan's managed to close that gap even more through there. Metcalf got past Jaden. Don't think it's going to be over though. Cody definitely showing that he's got some pace in these cars. Jump back real quick because Ryan Price has made a little bit of a mistake, I think, and that's really dropped Nathan Kane right onto the back of him. Nathan Kane now going to the left-hand side. Inside lane, will just have to pull out of it. Wakefield has just made a move around Greg Johnston. Vassalage just went really wide there, off into the sand. Dan Batouche is still right on the back. Some phenomenal battles across this whole field. And this is why we love this Super Sprint series, thanks to Shannons Insurance. Jake Edwards, Tim Corn. Edwards now pushing Corn. John McHenry has just put in the fastest lap of this session with a 2:13.66. Jordan McDonnell's best is only a 2:14. Edwards
Well,
now.
Jordan's last lap was a 13.8, but it must have had an off-track in there or something. It didn't register as his fastest lap. Jake now has got a good exit out of the parabolica. Tim's got no slipstream assistance in front.
Listen to these boxed engines wring their necks in top gear.
Is it top gear? They're not pulling sixth.
You don't think? It bloody sounds like it.
They've got fifth and sixth. Sixth bogs it down too much. You got too much headroom. Oh,
Price is around. No, what's happened there through the chicane? Newens is around as well. Quick replay while we just keep an eye on the battles. Metcalf and Vassalage are battling at this moment. Vassalage has just dropped off the back of Metcalf. Wait, Price has just gone straight through. Oh, no.
Oh, hardware failure.
Hardware failure. No, Pricey. Solid drive. Jump back up to the action. Metcalf and Vassalage were battling. It looks like Metcalf has just dropped off. Price has just jumped to the pits. That is extremely unfortunate, but Jordan McDonnell for Maverick Sim Sports leads the charge here for Heat 1. Already 10 minutes into this race, but not far off his tail is the locked-on lad of John McHenry.
Jordan was super committed through Ascari chicane and managed to get himself another 3/10 or so of a gap to John. Cody Metcalf just copped an off track there before as well. Up to 5 off tracks now. Well, Cody gains a lot under brakes. Gets good drive out of the corner. Should be able to come back at Jaden here. Look. There's all the bump draft.
He swings the nose out, doesn't go anywhere with it. Greg Leake and Nathan Kane as well, side by side, down the main straight, down into T1 and 2. Nathan Kane will slot just in front and take that position away from Leakey, who is, they're both up 6 positions from where they started, but Metcalf is still hassling the back of Vassalage with Dan Batouche right on their rear as well. ETS Motorsport car looking great. Steven Sinkovic has joined us tonight. Couldn't be out here on track as he is away for work. But yeah, he's jumped in saying Pricey needs an SRW livery. Looks like there might be a team offer for you, Mr. Ryan Price. At least we can say you don't spin as much as Sinkovic, that's for sure.
Oh, everyone chasing now for the draft.
Starting to build quite a big line here. Basilage, Metcalf, Bartouche, Korn, Edwards, Hodgkinson, Edwards. Oh, no, it stops at Hodgkinson, sorry. But Edwards and Hodgkinson are starting to battle back here.
Oh, that's a moment. I'm not sure what's happened there for Wayne. Looked like maybe he was a little bit unstable under brakes, had a bit of a tank slapper. Oh, another moment for Cody. There's contact. Oh. And it's spun. Jaden Basilage.
And now it's a four-way battle. Oh my gosh, this is going to get crazy. Edwards, Cornt, Batouche, Metcalf now all in the runnings here to take a podium spot for Heat 1. Six minutes left to go. So Metcalf has actually dropped back because of that spin. Edwards, Cornt and Bartouche all managed to get round him.
I think Shane Newens has had a moment.
Did. Just seeing if... This was the incident with...
Yeah, a little bit of contact.
Oh, yep. Oh.
Yeah, a little bit of contact on the brakes.
Yep, just gets both cars unsettled, and unfortunately Jaden's car gets the worst. That's debatable. We'll see, mate. We'll see. Pricey's driving really well. Mitch McIntyre in the great Northern Mobile. Makes me thirsty. Battling it out.
Mitch
here
McIntyre has
Soper.
Yeah, Mitch McIntyre has a drive-through penalty for, I think it was contact with 033. That is what I heard come over the race control channel.
Henry's just punched out another 213.32. Still really pushing the back of McDonnell.
See them all the way up the main straight there. But John finds a lot of time in the draft.
You saving much tyres sitting there as well?
Oh, do tyres really matter in a 20-minute race?
Yeah, not really.
Not in these cars. Maybe in a supercar.
Oh, side by side, Batouche has clipped the curb and it's just unsettled his car. That's all it takes.
Yep, so Bartouche was trying to run side by side and just got pushed. Nowhere much further to go. Brakes earlier being on the inside. He's sort of forced tight by the angle that the crisscross driver takes. And unfortunately, it's lost him quite a bit of time. Oh! Mitch McIntyre has spun. And now he's probably got a fair bit of damage to that right front.
It's crabbing. It's crabbing. Heavy on the brakes. You see the nose dip down. Oh,
it gets hit with the rear, so you've already got the right rear that's damaged.
Oh.
And then cops the right front as well.
You can see as he turns on here, the car just instantly starts crabbing
as well.
Broken right rear rim. In the last 3 minutes, there will be no safety car. That is unfortunate turn of events, but Jake Edwards for Crisscross Racing is our biggest mover in Heat 1. Up 11
These three drivers were all within a
spots.
second of each other, though, at the start of this lap.
Yeah.
So I
Been a
wonder
big
if there's
drop-off.
been a move attempted from one of them. Potentially from Cody Metcalf has attempted a move. I didn't see Barney waving the white flag.
But is he doing his job? That's the problem. Nope. I don't see any white flag.
I think given the fact that the two leaders had crossed the line. Oh, still I dare say this will still be white flag though.
You would think so, looking at the times. 2 minutes 13 a lap. Let's have a look. Barney, what are you doing, mate?
No, definitely not waving
No.
a flag.
Yep. I'm surprised he's actually in there.
Ought to be on tea break.
Yeah, he's usually off getting a meat pie and a beer, I'm telling you. Jordan McDonnell still leads away from Maverick Sim Sports. Has pushed that gap out from Jordan McHenry now, though, to 1.31. Someone's dropped in and said Hyundai Excel. No, mate, it's a Toyota GR86. But that would be
They
cool.
want me in Excel.
Yeah, that'd be actually awesome. Jaden Bassilage just copying another off track. The battles have settled down now into the last 30 seconds of this race, or should I say last lap of this race. Where is Jordan? Jordan is coming down towards the last corner. Hyundai Excel's confirmed. Thanks for joining us, Spoon and Uri.
Boone is Nick Rodder. Jordan takes the win here in race one. Is there even a flag being waved by Barney?
No, look at this lazy shot. Look at him. Someone fire Barney.
That is checkered flag though.
Right, well, there's a new job opening for SRW, guys. If you want to be Barney the Flagman, please inquire within. John McHenry for Locked On Lads Racing didn't leave the back of Jordan McDonnell that whole race. Will take P2 in Heat 1. Tim Cornt will fight his way up from a 9 positions down deficit from the beginning all the way back up into P3 where he started on the grid. Jake Edwards with a phenomenal drive up 11 spots into P4 for the Crisscross Racing team. Cody Metcalf, an unfortunate incident, did drop him back into P5, but still 3 spots above his qualifying. So you'll have to be happy with that result. Killer little race here for our Heat 1, and it's only going to get better as we move on into Heat 2 with a reverse top 10 grid. And that means Greg Leake up 7 positions in this first race. For the Red Energy team, Greg Carr will take pole position of Heat 2. What a cracking start for round 7 here for our Shannons Insurance Toyota GR86 Nationals. Just want to take this time to say a huge big thank you for all of you who have joined us for our broadcast here tonight and every other night of the week. It means an absolute ton for all our drivers as well as the team behind SRW.
P1 results, Jordan McDonald comes home in P1 just under a second ahead of John McHenry. Tim Corn from six spots down jumps himself up into P3. Jake Edwards in 4 and Cody Metcalf in 5. Cody making up 11 spots. Or was it Jake made up 11 spots in that race? Jaden Basilage in 6, Callan Hodgkinson in 7, Dan Bartouche 8, Wayne Edwards and Greg Leake round out the top 10. Greg, of course, starting on pole in this next race. Kane, Soper, Wakefield, Johnston, Gretton, all finish on the lead lap.
It's good to see them
so Greg
all.
Greg Leake off of 1 alongside Wayne Edwards. So the top 10 reversed. Nathan, Kane and Brendan Soper start where they are, and that'll carry on from 11 down to 18 in the end. Jake coming in the chat saying going 4 wide was nuts. On our way already.
Yep, there's no
Greg
time in between.
Greg gets a horrible start. It means that Callan can get up in front. Callan Hodgkinson has jumped all the way up into P1. Off the start, up 3 spots already. He'll lead down into turn 1. Dan Bartouche alongside Wayne Edwards there. Greg Leake trying to capitalise on that poor start whilst there's cars around him. Already Tim Corn has passed him, so now he's got Jordan McDonnell alongside him. So Jordan has already jumped John McHenry in the end. Jumped further back up the field. Jake Edwards challenging Cody Metcalf once again. Cody Metcalf dives up the inside of Wayne Edwards. Oh, bit of contact as Wayne just came off the curb, a little bit unstable. It's going to invite Jordan McDonnell to make it 3 wide and get the move done. Up the inside of Tim Corn and Wayne Edwards.
Great move.
Jordan already streaming up towards a 5th place spot. Oh, 2 cars are off. Bartouche
and Hodgkinson.
Hodgkinson were both. Oh, there's a big crash in the background.
In the background.
John McHenry's involved. Championship leader.
McHenry and Nathan Kane into the wall. McHenry looks to be suffering a lot of damage. That is going to be a slow trip back to the pits. Jordan McDonnell now battling with Callan Hodgkinson. Jake Edwards. Just managed to squeeze past Tim Corn. So much happening here on the first lap of Heat 2. Jaden Basilage leading the charge right now. See Greg Leake and Wayne Edwards trying to hold their position in the top 10. Jake Edwards going out wide on Tim Corn. Tim Corn getting caught in behind McDonnell. Everybody lining in for a taste of that draft. Jordan McDonnell. Side
his
by
teammate
side.
for company here too. Up in front, he can use a little bit of draft to help him get past. Jordan McDonnell makes it up 8 spots before he gets into turn 1.
In 1 lap. Shows the pace this man has.
3 drivers are all in the pits. Wayne Edwards, Nathan Kane and John McHenry. Ryan Price and Mick McIntyre are unable to make the start.
It's a little bit unfortunate there for J-Mac. I don't know if it's better that he made it to the pits or that he didn't have enough damage for a safety car. Safety car would have allowed him to possibly get back onto the back of the battles. See Edwards still hunting Tim Corn. Jordan has now moved around his teammate, Jaden Basilage. So Jaden is now going to play the blocker.
Sorry how quickly Jordan was able to make up 9 spots there. Don't know how much of a blocker he'll need. Oh, contact there. Just on the exit of the first part of the Ascari chicane.
Oh, they're going
They're still
side by side.
Jake Edwards and Cody Metcalf once again. Dan Bartouche is going to get himself involved in this as well. Had a better run out of the Ascari.
Oh, Metcalf's gone wide. Really wide. He's going to lose 3 positions in a blink of an eye. What a huge mistake there. That allows Hodgkinson, Edwards and Bartouche all to slip through. Jordan McDonnell setting the fastest lap now. 2:14.14. Tim Corn now side by side with Jaden. Tim Corn's got to do what he can for the locked on team. Side by side through, that's T1 and 2, isn't it? What do you call that one, mate?
Yes, that is, that's the red affiliation game.
Red affiliation. Great
Red
move
affilio.
there. Red affilio?
Yes, that's it.
Yep. I'll write that down for next time, I promise. Tim Corn managed to get past Jaden extremely smoothly there and is already starting to push that gap out and try and chase down Jordan McDonnell. What can Tim can't do? Brendan Soper, Greggy Johnston at the back here. Oh!
That's a big hit. Wouldn't be surprised if there's a fair bit of damage on that 27 car.
Oop, wrong car. Wrong Greg. Wrong Greg. Looks pretty alright.
Yeah, 61 looks okay. I'm just worried about Brendan Soper.
Did get a big front on damage. Still looks pristine.
I think we need to look at the other camera angle on the other side of the car. Yeah, a bit of a crease. Bit of a crease, bit of a scratch.
That's a lot less damage than I expected.
It looks like the tyre's got maybe a little bit more camber, but it looks like it's carrying on okay. See if he's got any hands down. So you know what? He's come out pretty well.
Extremely well. Seeming, I like to call these cars the fine china of racing. Oh, Wakefield just locks it. Stay out of the way, Greggy Johnston. Big slide from Wakefield.
Jaden Vassalage getting past Callum Hodgkinson with all the draft. Very late on the brakes. Does get the car pulled up nicely. Nathan Kane cops a drive-through penalty there for contact with John McHenry.
Hodgkinson getting the move done. Back on Jaden. Both drivers down 1 position from their grid. McDonnell really showing his form in these 86s again. Starting to stretch those legs away from Tim. Only half a lap ago, Tim was on the back of him. Now he is 2 seconds ahead. Got to start putting some weight limits into Jordan's car. Maybe a bag of concrete or something as we see Jaden go back at Callan. This could be the battle that we keep our eyes on. This will be the battle for P5. Jaden Vassalage for Maverick Sim Sports and Callan Hodgkinson of Crisscross Racing. Right up in front of him. Oh, Jaden blinked a little bit there. Pulling out to go the outside. Oh, that is scary when a driver starts blinking in front of you. Callan getting a really good run out of that last corner. Coming down the home straight.
I think it's more scary when it's on the straight where you're trying to get draft and you don't know and you've just pulled out and then he blinks and you're like, where did he go? at that stage, you just give him a wide berth, as wide as you can. Jaden trying to come back at him here. Just tuck him behind, try and do exactly what he had done to him by Callan on that last lap.
Cody Metcalf now trying to make up some spots here on Brendan Soper. Will get that
Wakefield's
move
off
done.
in the top there. I'm not sure if there was contact with Greg Johnston, but Kevin was definitely off on the right-hand side of the exit of the Redifilio chicane.
Let's get a quick replay.
Oh, Jaden Basilage has gone off track.
Oh, no, it was a Wakefield's own mistake. And Gretton managed to get around Basilage there as well. Ah, it's because he's blinking, I think.
It's just run a little bit too
he has
deep in
run
the
wide,
corner,
and then
so.
Gretton straight through up into P6. Up 9
That's
spots.
9 spots. Gee whiz.
Great drive from Pete Gretton. Dan Batouche, I was going to say, sitting comfortably in P3, but he's really starting to close that gap on Corn, even with Edwards on the back of him. Still see Jordan McDonnell just starting to stretch that gap out. Just over halfway now through Heat 2. On board with Jake Edwards for the Warren and Brown Tools cockpit cam. See them, how close they get to each other, pushing. You actually sort of see through Jake's screen that, yes, indeed, Tim Corn was being pushed by... No, sorry, Batouche was pushing Tim Corn. Yep, that's what I meant. Oh, Batouche!
He's run too deep into the chicane on the outside. Exceeded the limits of adhesion there. Turns it in really aggressively while still on the brakes, unsettles the rear of the car. Very lucky not to make contact with Callan. Sorry, with Jake Edwards.
Field is starting to settle down a bit now.
Settle? Really?
Oh gosh, I haven't even had the intervals up this whole time. Sorry guys. Yeah, there you go. It's funny, last time I forgot that. Everybody said, we didn't even notice, mate. There's too much happening. I was like, good. I should not bring light to my own mistakes. Oh, Johnston's around in the wall. Could this be our first safety car? It's not going to be. Oh my gosh, that was a crazy re-entry. I don't think Johnston realised. I think that was Wayne Edwards.
Just turned it in way too fast. I thought when we saw that and we saw the tyre just turn once as he engaged the gear.
Oh, there is a battle. Edwards. Oh, again. Edwards pushing Tim Corn. Edwards would love to see himself 2 podium finishes. Right now he will be sitting in P3. There is a big gap back to Batouche, 5 seconds. So it will be a battle for P2 with Tim Corn from the Locked On Lads racing team and Jake Edwards of Crisscross Racing. Jaden Basilage is going down the inside of Gretton. Oh, we'll get that pulled up really quite nicely, but Gretton is still going to be on the rear of him. Talk about it settling down, and now the battles start flying in as we see Soper and Wakefield as well coming down the straight. Wakefield will get that move done on Soper. Soper has dropped right off there. Let's Wakefield go through. Now Basilage and Batouche. Metcalf. No, Basilage and Gretton. Batouche and Hodgkinson. Oh, Gretton just got a bit slidey around that corner there. That is going to allow Basilage a bit of a bump. Side by side through that corner at really quick speeds. Really quick? Would you call that really quick in these cars? I suppose it is.
Well, I'd say it's a medium speed corner.
Batouche now trying to make up some of those spots for those unfortunate mistakes. Going to have to try and get this move done on Hodgkinson in the next 4 minutes, seeing just how far he takes that corner right out. Use as much as that as he can. Edwards again on the back of Corn. Oh, Edwards unsettled himself. Too close. I think he was so close that he actually unsettled his own car there. Was a tiny touch. There also was a car off on the right hand side. Not sure if that's taken away any of his concentration.
Shane Ewan's on the right hand side. He's just towed back to pits, but I think Jake there, we've seen it a little bit tonight. The drivers are really committed under brakes into Parabolica, and it looks like they're sort of letting off the brakes a bit. What's the car round?
Peter Gretton. Oh, not Pete. Oh, no, he was up 10 spots. Managed to get back out. He's only going to lose 1 spot to Edwards, though. Jace Douglas has dropped in and said, let's go, Greggy Johnston. He is up 1 spot from his grid into P13. Still wearing his Wear Till for Tourette's. Always supporting such awesome causes is Greg Johnston.
Now, let's see if Barney is going to do his job.
Well, looking at his track record, probably not. Let's have a look. No, look, Slacker's still just sitting there doing nothing. All right, Barney's fired. We need a new Barney. Pricey, what happened, mate? You didn't make it to the grid for the second race. What happened to your equipment, bud? Are you going to make it out for the feature race tonight? Jordan McDonnell has absolutely gapped out Tim Corn, 7.4 seconds, and then 8.2 seconds from Tim Corn to Callan Hodgkinson. 3.2 seconds from Hodgkinson to Basilage. Basilage 7.4 seconds to Edwards. And then 2.3 seconds to Gretton. So after all that really close racing, a few unfortunate spins has started to really stretch this field out now. But some big movers. Jordan McDonnell making up 9 spots within 1 lap. Computer issues, hopefully. I thought you just got that fixed, mate. You need a better IT guy. I know one if you're in Queensland. Oh, Pete Gretton! He's lost his concentration. I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry, Pete, but you'll know why. I'm only laughing because Pete and I know
that's a
each
lot of
other.
damage.
Yeah. So, that front right wheel is locked up, and it's too late in the session for a safety car, but I believe this will be Jordan McDonnell coming towards the finish. Hey, can I have a track map? No, don't want to give me a track map? Sure.
Coming up to the final corner, Parabolica now. Using the AstroTurf on the left-hand side to be his brake marker there. It's been another commanding drive, up 9 spots this time for Jordan. He's gone 2 from 2 tonight with Racecraft. Is it Racecraft fastest lap?
Yeah.
In this one? Yeah. Racecraft fastest lap in the qualifying session. Racecraft pole position, I should say. And then another fastest lap in this one. And the race win. Tim Cornt comes across in second.
Exactly what J-Mac would have wanted. Just a consistent J-Mac is.
And Callum Hodgkinson does put a crisscross car on the podium as well after Jake's unfortunate incident down in the Parabolica a couple of laps ago. And he takes his spot. Jaden Basilage makes it 2 Maverick Sim Sports cars in the top 4. Coming home in 5th, Jake Edwards in 5th. Dan Bartouche does come home in
6th.
6th. Cody Metcalf in 7th. Cody giving us a couple of swerves then. Kevin Wakefield in 8th. Brandon Soper in 9th. And John McHenry does end up coming home in 10th. So it's still a decent haul of points, better than what it could have been after lap 1.
That keeps him in that mid-pack off the start for our feature race.
Yep, Greg Leake out of 11 and Greg Johnston in 12. So the Team Greg cars just outside the 10. Wayne Edwards in 13th should be. Coming across the line in the background there. Nathan Kane will come home in 14th. Shane Newens comes home in 15th, a lap down after his spin.
My mate Pete Gretton ended up in 14th after such a good drive. We do have a 5-minute practice session now for the drivers. We do have Mr. McDonnell in the green room right now. Everybody's getting to know this man and his voice, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last time we hear from him. Mr. Jordan McDonnell.
Hello.
Hello, mate. You need to, I don't know, find another league to go to because you're too fast.
I like it here, though. It's a great community.
Yeah, mate, that is what we're all about. Mate, do you like this track?
Yeah. I mean, I don't like how easy it is to stay in the draft. I can tell you that for free. Obviously, I think, this feature race coming up, there's points on, extra bonus points if you get the quickest lap, but problem is as you saw in the first race, I had enough pace to stay ahead, but the guys behind, they can just punch out fast lap times, and they can stay with you. I gained probably half a second to 6/10 on John, and then all of a sudden he's right back in behind me again just because the toe's keeping him there, it's frustrating a little bit because obviously in that race, we got out of the toe early and were able to just set laps and pull away, but that first race and possibly this next race might be a little bit different. If they can stay in the toe, it makes it a little bit harder to kind of manage because you got to push, and that just can lead to mistakes when you are on edge all the time.
It probably made it a little bit easier that Tim and Jake Edwards were battling in behind you and sort of got you a little bit of an opportunity to gap them, and then you were just able to pull away. And what was it, 7 seconds at the line at the finish. So it's a pretty healthy gap, all things considered.
Yeah, I got a slowdown on that last lap. I was glad that I had that gap, because the first corner I took a little bit too much curbing, and old mate on race control told me I had to redress the advantage that I gained, even though it wasn't anything. It's just, you know how it is. But yeah, it obviously helps when the car's behind battle, but at the same time, you can end up being in that battle really easily if you don't manage to break that toe too. So thankfully we managed to get away from it.
Well, mate, it's looking like a clean sweep at the moment for you. Hopefully you can convert. It's a reverse top 5 in this final race tonight. So you've got a couple of cars in front of you to catch, but if you can do what you did in the last race and make 9 spots before you get to turn 1 on the second lap, I think you're going to be all right.
Yeah, I got pretty lucky there that some cars were battling hard and ran wide. Obviously, you got to try and make the most of every opportunity, especially like I was saying, you know, when it's so tight with the toe and everything. If you can get a few cars ahead of like John or someone that's able to keep up with you on pace, it makes it a little bit easier, because obviously they get held up, and I'm not really sure what happened to John in that one, but seen he finished in 10th, so something must have happened. But yeah, we'll do our best. Obviously, you might have just cursed me, hopefully not, but yeah, we'll try and do another clean sweep. We're, I think, 400 points behind, and it's like 200 points on offer every round, so the goal is to just keep doing what we're doing and try and be there at the end to, when the drop rounds come, that we might be in contention for the title.
Alrighty, mate. Well done tonight so far. A quick opportunity to thank your sponsors before you jump to the grid.
Big thanks to the Maverick SimSport boys, SimBlacks, AutoCare Pukekohe, Basile Beauty, and Custom Graphics. The boys have been real busy because we got the call up from Europe to drive an LMP2 car at Le Mans 24 hour this weekend. So we've been flat stick, and obviously they've been putting in lots of hours. I think we've clocked up about probably close to 28 hours combined with everybody of driving this week. So it's pretty crazy. But yeah, hopefully we go well in this one, and see you guys in the comms box afterwards.
All right, mate. Good luck. We'll talk to you later, hopefully. Hopefully I haven't cursed you. Normally that's ShiBBy's job to curse people, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right, boys.
To curse on broadcast, though. Anyway, dad joke went over the top of your heads.
Yeah, I heard it. I went.
Come on, mate.
It was a pure facepalm moment.
It was a beautiful dad joke. All dad jokes should be a great facepalm moment. That's the way I see them. Oh, man. Well, what a cracker of 2 first heats tonight. We will be heading into our feature race now with a top 5 reverse grid. So Jake Edwards from Crisscross Racing will be on pole position. Jaden Basilage from Maverick Sim Sports will be sitting next to him on the grid. Callan Hodgkinson and Tim Court will be row 2, and Jordan McDonnell will be in P5. Everybody else is on the grid as where they finished in Heat 2. This will be our feature race here for round 7, thanks to Warren and Brown Tools for our Shannons Insurance Toyota GR86 Nationals, as we get ready to go racing one last time tonight. Where'd I click?
Driver sitting patiently. Revs on these boxer engines rise. Drivers look for their starting lights. And it's a good start from the front row. Jake converted that very nicely. Jaden Basilage will challenge him though down into turn 1. Callan needs to get himself up there. Jordan McDonnell already up 1 spot. He's got Tim Corn on his inside though. Jordan covers. Looks like it's going to be crisscross 1-2. Everyone checks up. It is a crisscross 1-2. And then a Maverick Sim Sports 2-3. I won't stay that way for long. Tim Court and Dan Bartush in behind.
See the pace Jordan has, just absolutely pushing his teammate Jaden to try and get around Hodgkinson. Great lines there. See how smooth he is. Pinpoint precision with where he put his car then. A massive lineup when we get that music.
The two Maverick cars have spun. Has meant that Jordan McDonald has gone from 3rd to 9th.
We did see him get those positions back though in one lap. It's going to take him much. A lot of movement, change of positions here between Basilage, Corn, Batusian, McHenry. McHenry, as I say, playing it patient. He's definitely not. Batusian's gone out to the left. McHenry will get a really good run down here. Corn using himself as a blocker. You can see him slowing down the cars on the left-hand side to allow McHenry through. And Basilage is around now. That's two Maverick Sim Sports cars that have spun on the first lap. And I just spat on my microphone. I got so excited.
Bartusha spun as well.
That leaves the battles right now to Metcalf and McHenry. What a crazy start to the feature race here. That means the two crisscross racing drivers will start pushing out. Metcalf has made a mistake. That will be a slowdown. That will allow McHenry to move himself up into P3. Or maybe not. Maybe Metcalf timed that perfectly with that slowdown. Managed to get back on the power.
Metcalf looked like he came back onto the racing line to serve a slowdown there. That's a pretty big no-no in most leagues. Not sure about here. Race Control might have a look at that one in terms of where he came to serve that slowdown.
Henry will take that position away now. Tim Corn fighting off. Metcalf has got a massive slowdown. You see him in the background jump on the brakes all the way down now into P10.
No, he's been disqualified. Was he?
Don't know. I need to teach Fritzy how to use our race control messages.
I think he's been disqualified.
Fritzy,
for
if
not
you
serving
are
the slowdown.
watching, please let us know. Oh, that'll be an iRacing.
No, Cody is. No, Cody's just disconnected.
But not in the server anymore.
That's an interesting one. That'll be looked at by Race Control for sure. There's a car off in the dirt. I could hear in the background.
Jaden Basilage again. You see Ryan Price in the Bluey machine make the move on Kevin Wakefield. Now he is up 12 spots. Wakefield, though, looking to make another attack. I don't think he's going to have it. Will get a better run out of this corner. Should carry a bit extra speed, and he's going to. Getting right back on the back of Price. He just disconnected? Okay. So it wasn't an iRacing, and you're trying to use SDK software. Alright, mate, I gotta... Either myself or Tyson need to show you. It's pretty easy. I'm sure I sent you the link.
Anyway, Jordan McDonald trying to range up onto the back of John McHenry now. So Tim Corn's got past John.
He has lap 3, so it's only just happened.
Jordan already starting with the lights. He knows how important it is to get past.
He needs to get past the champion leader.
Spent a lot of time already through the Della Roggia chicane.
So not disqualified for Cody Metcalf, just disconnected. Vassalage all the way back at the back of the pack now, battling it out with the two Gregs. Managed to get around them. Made a few mistakes. He's dropped himself down into P11. But the eyes will be watching McHenry and McDonnell.
And Nathan Kane has got a drive through for an unsafe rejoin on lap 1. Literally bump drafting here, Jordan.
The two lost on lads guys have got to be so careful here.
Yeah. Jordan lifted out of the throttle there, so he wasn't making contact as they jammed on the brakes down into Parabolica, in order to also make sure he got himself a good run out of here. Not getting as much gain. Jordan does set the fastest lap of a 13.4.
Kane's in the pits now.
There'll be that drive-through penalty. John goes to the inside on his teammate.
Probably a very smart move there. See if Tim can hold up Jordan while McHenry stretches his legs. Jaden Bassilage is around again, dropping through the field. Here comes McDonnell. Oh my gosh. Held my breath through that one. Absolute outstanding move there from Jordan McDonnell on Tim Corn. Now he is already on the back of McHenry. I want to see that again. See him just on the left-hand side. Brakes so much later than Tim. And just eases it through there. Had Hughesy drop in. Hey Hughesy, we're your teammates, mate. P1, P2 right now, bud. Got Edwards P1.
Shane Newens has had a moment. Crashed and then he jumped on the comms. He's definitely got damage.
Might have been requesting a tow.
Oh yeah, right front.
Yeah, he's probably possibly requesting
There's someone
a tow.
requesting to tow. Someone is.
Oh! Ooh. So the damage has happened before this.
Yeah, I heard him report something at turn 1.
Let's see what I can find. That's an off track there, but he's got no damage. And I don't see anywhere else where there's an incident of... Not sure. We need to quickly get a replay of what we just missed. Jordan McDonnell has made the move on John McHenry down the straight to relive the action with a quick replay. McDonnell again just putting that car in such prime positions.
McHenry definitely wanted to challenge for it though. But it's really only one opportunity there. So Shane comes into the pits. Greg Leake had towed. So I'm not sure if it was involved with both of them. But he was given approval to tow back to pits in that one. Benefits of having such a big track is that most of the cars will be on the other side of the circuit. Here's what's happened to Greg. Oh, he's just spun it and put himself into the barrier. And I'll be left front damage. Yeah, can't steer the car at all.
Oh! There was a Maverick Sims car around as well at the same time.
Was that Jaden Basilage?
It might
So
have
the
been.
incident we saw him spinning.
It's interesting to
Jordan
see what
making
happened.
light work. He just got past Callan.
Now he's on for Jake Edwards. He's got 2.35 seconds to hunt
And
down
Basilage has got a
Jake
drive-through
Edwards.
penalty now as well. Coming out of pits, that's Greg Leake. Callan coming back at Jordan.
This is going to turn out to be one heck of a battle for the podium finish. We have 5 of the fastest cars on track. I should say 4. Chasing down Jake Edwards of Crisscross Racing. McDonnell, Hodgkinson, McHenry, and Cornt.
Oh! Well, there was a bit of contact going on there between Callan and Jordan. Jordan was definitely a bit unstable.
Oh,
Coming into
Edwards is
three. Oh.
around! Edwards is around! No, small mistake. No one near him.
Looks like he was just too aggressive over that inside curb. Bounced himself around.
Handed the lead to McDonnell. And this is where he's really going to start stretching his legs. If McHenry and Hodgkinson battle this out, which I know McHenry is going to. He wants that consistent finishes side by side. Tim Cornt slipstreaming off the back of his teammate. They're both dragging Callan down, and McDonnell 1.2 seconds away already is John McHenry showing the nose to Hodgkinson. Really clean line through here. Will that actually give him enough to pull in front? It is going to be so close coming down into turn 1. McHenry and his teammate Tim Cornt now pushing each other. McHenry's moved across in front of Hodgkinson.
Gave him nowhere to go.
And he got a great exit out of that corner as well. He does really need that. Edwards has actually just managed to get past Ryan Price, so Edwards is back in the hunt. I don't know if 6 minutes is going to be enough. Tim Cornt now having a look at Hodgkinson.
Greg Leake's got himself a drive-through penalty. Jordan at the moment's got the fastest lap of a 2:13.1.
Hello, Mouse. There we go. Ryan Price, our biggest mover of this race. Again, up 12 spots. up into that mid-pack where we've seen him sitting more often than not nowadays. Was a bit of a mistake in Heat 2, though, that put him down at the back. Great drive from him. Dan Bartouche down in P9. Does look to be carrying a fair bit of damage on that car. Doesn't look to be holding too straight on the track. It's going to make it quite easy for Mr. Johnston to make his way around him.
Are you saying Ryan Price, a little error that dropped him further down the field? Is that what
In
you're talking
Heat
about?
2.
He didn't make Heat 2.
Oh, sorry, was it Heat 1 then? Must have been Heat 1.
Heat 1, he had a hardware failure.
Yep, that's it. Yep.
So I'd hardly call that a mistake if he had a hardware failure.
Yep, sorry, Pricey.
All right, Pricey, we're looking out for you, mate.
At least
I
someone
am.
is. I do too many.
Dan Bartouche and Wayne Edwards are both in pits.
Yeah, Bartouche had a lot of damage. We're just looking at that then. His front wheels did not look good and he did not look settled on the track. He has had an off track in the last couple of laps as well. Lap 6.
Looks like Callan was just serving Jake Edwards was just serving a slowdown then. Whoa, that's probably going to get himself another slowdown. That was a lot of curb.
Only 3 minutes left to go of our feature race here for the Shannons Insurance Toyota GR86 Nationals. Thank you all for joining us this evening for our Super Sprint Series here for round 7, thanks to Warren and Brown Tools.
At the moment, Jordan's just holding on to those fastest lap points. Thanks to Racecraft. 13.1 plays a 13.27 for John McHenry. See what it's like when they cross the line here. John's been able to get himself any faster. No, 13.7 on that last lap, so John knows that if he's going to get the fastest lap points, it needs to be done on this lap.
Did you say John or Jordan?
John. If he was
Oh,
fastest lap
McHenry's around! He's around. We were watching Tim. And John's gone around in front of him. Mr. Consistent. I've commentated Curse John tonight.
It'll be curb here.
Yeah.
Oh, on the exit. Just picks up the throttle a bit too much, looking for that fastest lap, I dare say. Fortunately.
Good thing is his teammate Will Hodgkinson is hot on Tim's tail though. Still might get a locked on lads on that podium. Tim has driven extremely well tonight. The field has stretched out. We went from a 5-way battle for podium finishes to a stretched out field with Jordan McDonnell again leading the charge. Tim Corn in P2, just like Heat 2. Didn't Callan got a P3 finish in Heat 2 as well, didn't he? John McHenry does still have himself in P4. This will be the checkered flag as Jordan McDonnell makes it 3 for 3 as he crosses the line here for round 7. Congratulations to the Maverick Sim Sports driver. He will be your overall winner. Tim Corn from Locked On Lads Racing will take P2. Callan Hodgkinson taking out P3 from Chris Cross Racing. John McHenry will manage to keep himself up in that top 5. make sure he gets as many points as he can. Ryan Price in the Bluey Mobile up 13 spots after that hardware malfunction in race 1, missing race 2. Will finish in P5. Kevin Wakefield, what a great drive in P6 for Kevstar Racing. Jake Edwards, that unfortunate incident, will end up in P7, down 6 spots from pole. Brendan Sopar will come across the line in P8. Jaden Basilage, P9. Dan Bartouche, P10. Nathan Kane up 4 spots to take P11. Greggy Johnson will be P12 with a very, very sore car. What has happened on the last lap for Mr. Johnston? That car is in pieces. Let's get a quick replay of what's happened to Greggy Johnson for the Red Energy Racing Team Greg car. Wow, a lot of speed through
just
there.
lost it over the curb. Big hit.
Massive hit. Great drive from all the drivers out there tonight. Let's get some cheers in the chat. Congratulating all our drivers for an excellent race. Wrap these interviews up real quick because I got to race. Results are locked in here for round 7 thanks to Warren and Brown Tools for Shannons Insurance Toyota GR86 Nationals. Jordan McDonnell for Maverick Sim Sports will make it 3 for 3 and take out your overall round winner here tonight. He tries to do donuts in a car that just does not donut.
Do you know that he's got to pull up on the grid first?
They all stopped back at the other, the other
okay,
white
right,
line.
okay.
Yeah, didn't you see?
No, I didn't. I'll be honest.
I was like, why are they parked so far back? Yeah, get on the grass, Jordan. It'll spin then. Come on, someone can get one of these to do a burnout. I'm sure of it. No, no, they can't. They don't have the torque, which is unfortunate. But congratulations to our podium. We will be getting them in here for a chat any second now. Oh. All right, Callan Hodgkinson, P3 in the feature race, Chris Cross Racer, Mr. Callan Hodgkinson.
Hey guys.
Hey, mate.
Always fun racing these things.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it looked like you had a blast out there tonight.
Yeah, it was good. I was struggling for a bit of pace actually, to get a grip on it, but I'm good towards the end. But yeah, like I said, always fun to race these ones. Unlucky to John McHenry on the last lap to spun it, so I'll take it.
Yeah, I was going to say, unlucky for him, but very, very well deserved for you to get another podium tonight. You were leading off the start along with your teammate Jake in that third race. What was your plans between you and him? Were you just going to try and draft each other and try and build it as much of a gap as you could?
Yeah, I was just out of the draft, which would have been handy to get him behind the draft because I knew they were coming. I mean, Jordan McDonald, he had a bit of a lose, so I knew he was down, but I knew they were going to catch me with about 10 minutes to go, so I tried my hardest, and unlucky for Jake Edwards for having a spin. He should have been up there, but I was happy with the result in the end. Like I said, I'll take it. Unlucky for John, but I'm not sure where the championship's at the moment, but it's pretty tight.
Yeah, it's very tight. I think well, it's getting tighter each race, but I think there'll come a point probably next week where John might have the upper hand.
Yeah.
He's definitely got one hand on the podium at the moment, but there's still drop rounds to play out. So it'll go down to the last round, I'm sure, and there'll be a big offer on the table for Jordan to take that championship. You're sitting all right though. Where are you off to next week? Alton Park next week. I know that Alton's a pretty fun car and track combo in these. Not sure what layout you voted on, but I'm very excited to tune in from the comfort of my couch, I think, next week.
Absolutely. It's one of my favourite tracks, Alton Park, so I look forward to it.
Awesome, mate. Well, I'll give you a chance to thank all your crisscross sponsors.
Yeah, no worries. Shunt Scenery, Jennifer Russell Real Estate, Poolmaster Bayside, and DSM Painting. And I think I've got them all. Thanks, guys.
No worries at all, mate. Well done tonight. Good podium in the end. Lucky on your behalf. So look, hopefully you can take that form into next week.
Yeah, nice, guys. Thank you.
That was P3, Callan Hodgkinson from Crisscross Racing. Moving on to P2 now, Tim Cornt from Locked On Lads Racing.
Hello, fellas.
G'day, mate.
How are you?
Yeah, good. How did you find that tonight? P2.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I stuffed that bloody first race up again, but was able to make some spaces back, some places back, and yeah, the last one was just about mitigating any crashes, to be honest, and try and get John up in front, which we were able to do, and then he binned it, which was very spectacular.
I suppose it's a good thing that you were there though, doing well for the Locked On Lads, making sure you're getting a solid haul of points every race. I think it was one of you guys on the podium each race tonight, so it's another good haul for you boys. What's been the talk around making sure that John maximises his points? Is it just work together and try and get him towards the front, or is it if he comes through, I'm just stepping out the way?
Oh, not really. No, look, John just wants to race, and look, if I think more so it would be me making that decision than him. He's happy just to race, and just things are what they are. So I think we just keep doing that, and if it's necessary for us to look at positions. Look, to be honest, he's got a good lead at the moment, so it's just about making sure it gets to the end, and in one of those high positions. So we'll play every race as it comes, but as I've said previously, I haven't been able to make. Well, I've only this is the second race that I've been in, so probably the teams thing will become more prominent next season.
Yeah, definitely, mate. I want to make sure that we put all the emphasis on teams as much as we put on drivers. So, look, it'll be a good race next week at Alton Park. John, I think, should be sitting pretty comfortably with one hand on the championship now, but there's still 2 rounds to play out. I think it's double points on offer in the final round as well. And then we've also got drop rounds to play in, so it's not all over yet. But mate, that was a good performance into P2. I'll give you a chance to thank all your Locked On Lads sponsors.
Yeah, just as always, we don't have sponsors. We just support community groups, so Cure Cancer and Livin. But more importantly, the boys are doing the Shitbox Rally this year, so next year. Sorry, 24, winter 24. So if you want to get behind that and support the guys for an amazing cause, get behind it and let the boys know.
Yep, we've got a link in our Discord under Good Causes and Charities, a direct link to the donation page for the Locked On Lads Shitbox Rally. So if you're in the Discord, go and give whatever you can to help them out for such a great cause.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate. Well done again. Alrighty. And ShiBBy, you will be happy to say that we didn't curse him, even though it looked like we might have early on. We didn't curse him, even though it looked like we might have earlier on. But Jordan, mate, well done on taking the clean sweep tonight. Maximum haul of points that you could get. Well done on that one. Give us your thoughts on that third race.
Oh, mate, the start of it, Oh man, I was was not a happy chappy because that's I say in the broadcast we don't have the team rules at Maverick. Everyone races hard or whatever, but the one rule that it's a pretty common rule for most teams is don't take each other out. And J-Baz, buddy, tried to make me work a bit harder. I think just put me out in the marbles and tag me under brakes. I was just like, holy crap, what is this guy doing? But yeah, it was lucky we didn't lose too much time. Obviously, it threw us down the order a little bit, but I think just being able to draft cars was able to really pull us in again.
Yeah, I think that really capitalised, like you being able to capitalise on the draft and getting yourself back up into a strong position early on in that race, and then you're just able to capitalise on what was going on in front with Jake spinning, and then afterwards John spinning, which has gotten you another couple of points in hand towards that championship that you're chasing. I'll have to do the math on the drop rounds and everything like that, but obviously if you've missed a round, then that's a maybe a good haul of points that you'll get back as well. So your thoughts heading into Alton Park next week?
Cool little track. It's I haven't done a lot of running on it in iRacing. I did a lot of it on Project Cars 2 back in the day. So it's a neat little joint. I reckon it'll be really fun in this car because obviously, you got the different elevations to the track and a few blind corners and stuff, and heaps of passing opportunities too if you can figure them out and get around there. So I'm looking forward to it. It'll be interesting to see kind of, like what everyone's pace is like. Obviously, so far I've kind of been the benchmark, but when you start getting tracks that have more corners and stuff in it, that's when it either closes it up or expands it, I suppose.
Yeah, definitely. It's I'm sure it's a track that everyone has done quite a bit of, given that it's one of the free tracks in iRacing and one of those ones that, you hit MX5s in the first time out and it's a lot of fun. A little bit of a technical track too. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to double check what you voted on for the layouts. It was
probably full track. Hopefully.
I saw it before. Where did it go? Alton looks like it's Foster's.
I don't even know what that layout is. I only know the full one. 2 secs, Ted. Foster's is it's the short layout. So from Cascades, you go straight ahead, you cut out all that hairpin and the double chicane section. So, yeah, probably no jumps this week, or next week, I should say, but probably makes it maybe a little bit harder to overtake in that layout. I would say, yeah. I mean, I'm just trying to think in my head what the layout is. So you're saying it's like that second corner, that left-hander, you go straight rather than follow around.
Yeah, so as you come down the hill, you go, you tuck left. So you go straight to the right and then right sort of through the exit of that chicane and then all the way around back up the hill.
I tell you what, if there's a brave Barry, he'll fire it into that corner, that right hand of it. He'll send it in there, and I can guarantee if he misses his braking points, he's going straight into the fence. But it should be exciting. Like you say, it'll be a little bit harder to pass, but it just makes the passing more technical. Like you have to really set them up. You can't just bomb them like a little bit here. You can, if you get a good run, you kind of already set up. So it's like with a track like that, I suppose you can't. You're not necessarily going to get a tow as much. You actually have to think about when you're going to pass them and work out everyone's strengths and weaknesses, which makes it more fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think Monza was good in these cars because of the draft, but at the same time, it's not so good because you can sort of know that a pass is coming from a long way back. And it was interesting when it was like 3 or 4 car battles and you weren't sure which line were you going to take. I think one of the things that I noticed was that some drivers were sort of, they'd go for the move, but they wouldn't fully get up, down into turn one. They wouldn't fully let themselves get past to allow to stop a switchback. And then obviously in 3 and 4 car battles, especially when you got a teammate with you, you sort of park one car behind and really put the opposition off in the wrong spot.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised when I was around John and Tim that they didn't try and box me in and make my life real hard, actually, because obviously those guys, John's fighting for the championship, and I was like, oh, Tim, I'm a Lone Ranger up at that point, so I'm just like, oh, Tim might sit here and battle me and make my life harder and let John get away, which probably would have worked because he was fast enough to, maintain a gap anyway. So I was actually quite surprised that they didn't pull that tactic off. Glad they didn't, obviously, but yeah, it was surprising.
Well, mate, maximum points tonight. Clean sweep once again for you. So I'll give you a chance to thank all those Maverick Sim Sport sponsors.
Yeah, obviously Maverick Sim Sports, all the lads there. A few of them couldn't make it tonight, which is a shame, but we're all kind of testing for Le Mans this weekend. So, obviously Sim Blacks, Stefan, Pukekohe Auto Care, Custom Graphics, and Basile Beauty, or as I'm calling Jaden, Basile Bashing, because he rear-ended me. And shout out to Nate Kane and his bald head, shine bright like a diamond, baby. And thanks to you guys for doing the stream. Thanks to SRW for putting on the league. Thanks to all the competitors for showing up. Obviously, the entries are starting to dwindle down towards the end of the year season, but it's still good to have a good bunch of cars to battle it out on.
Definitely is, mates. Go well this week. Go well at Le Mans on the weekend. You're in one of the cars, yeah? Yeah. We're the 340 kind of 34 with a 0 on it, obviously. LMP2 cars, so it should be fun. Kind of wanted to jump in a car that was a little bit more raw, so to speak. The hybrid system's obviously quite technical and definitely cool to manage over a race, but we just want to get in a car that had a bit of downforce so we could pass GTEs and also be passed by the LMPs. So gonna have our hands full, but that track's wild. Top speed I think it's like 340k an hour or something, and Porsche curves, if you're not committed, you're in a brick wall. So should be a lot of fun, and hopefully we can stay out of trouble and pull off a good result. Alrighty, mate. Well, good luck with that, and good luck in your prep for Ulton next week. I'll be watching on, I think, from the comfort of my couch. So go well, good luck, and we'll see you next week. Yeah, thanks, boys. See you, ShiBBy. You've been quiet today. No, we weren't during the broadcast, mate. Don't you worry. I let Preach take the podium interviews because he's good at asking questions. Yeah, he's very good at asking questions. But no, congratulations, mate. Yeah, he is better than me. That's why I let him do it. I think he's on the soundboard now too. Yep, fantastic. Get more people on that Maverick Sim Sports soundboard, mate. Definitely, mate. All right, just have a good one. Go back and watch the stream for when you were knocked off the track in race 3, and you'll just hear, oh. I don't know if we want to put that on the soundboard. It might not be taken in the right context. Yes, you do. Okay, all right. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you guys next week. That will end our broadcast here tonight for round 7 of our super sprint Shannons Insurance Toyota GR86 Nationals. Thanks to Warren and Brown Tools. A cracking 3 races tonight. Seeing Jordan McDonnell for Maverick Sim Racing to take the overall win. A 3 for 3 wins each heat. But we are going to end the broadcast here. Firstly, I'd like to say a huge thank you to Shannons Insurance for coming on board for our Toyota GR86 Nationals. Of course, our round sponsor, Warren and Brown Tools, our safety car, the promo department, our fastest lap pole position and qualifying, thanks to Racecraft, and of course, all our other stream sponsors. We can't do without them. Grim Industries, home of the V8 coffee table, temptingsweets.com.au, Rare Spares, and of course, simrigs.com. I've been Nathan ShiBBy Howard, and the man next to me, joining me tonight as a special guest, has been Thomas Preach Riley. We're going to end this broadcast by saying stay safe and race hard.